Hey guys, it's Ian Galactic. Sorry it's been a while. It's been a crazy few months, but I'm in it to win it this time. So, um, yeah. So I want to show you guys some trading stuff. I've been learning a lot these last few months. Really focused on understanding the fundamentals a lot better. Trading global macro. So I'm still trading Forex futures options. I've done some equities as well. It's been a crazy few months. I mean, trading's been pretty easy. If you bought anything since my last video, you probably should have made money. And then a side note, I want to apologize to you guys. I know there's a lot of people who I've said I was going to make these YouTube videos for years now, but I feel like I'm finally in the right place, like mentally and spiritually, to kind of just take this endeavor on and be responsible with helping you guys learn trading, or if you already know how to trade, show you some things that I do that might help you out. A lot's happened this year personally, for the reason why I haven't uploaded like I thought I would for the beginning of the year, but I'm here to stay this time. So I'll be producing a lot of content for you guys. And yeah. So if there's anything I can do to help you guys out with trading, just let me know. So now let's get into the charts. So this is the NASDAQ. I have the NAS 100 up because it's just a little bit easier than me bringing up the triple Qs, but it's the same thing. So, I mean, not triple Qs, but the NASDAQ futures. So I'll just use this one for now. So that being said, some recent trades I placed. This was like mid-August, like mid to late August. I was looking at this demand zone to take a bullish position. I always use confirmation entries on my trades unless I'm not dealing with leverage. So if I did this on the triple Qs, I wouldn't be afraid to just buy the triple Qs. Actually, let me show you guys I don't have the triple Qs on here. Let me show you what the triple Qs are. So the triple Qs are basically the same thing. It's the NASDAQ, but it's just kind of like the stock version of NASDAQ instead of the futures version. So it's a lot less risk. So I could let's just say I had a $500. I could buy just one share of the triple Qs and still take advantage of the appreciation and value of this underlying or this equity. But I like to trade futures. I like to use leverage. So I'll do that on NASDAQ. So anyways, back to the charts. I was looking at this demand zone because for one, right before this happened, I was thinking that the Fed was going to continue QE, quantitative easing, which was going to make assets appreciate in value. So I was looking to continuously be bullish on the NASDAQ, which, as you can see, it played out pretty well. Now these are like more of my swing and position trades where I'll hold on to trades for a while. So I had this as my zone, but then I had this blue line as my entry. And then I had like my stop, like somewhere in here, somewhere. And then as price continuously moved in my favor, I just continuously moved my stop up to secure profits. Usually where there are like structure areas. So like, let's just say I wanted to use that as like some type of resistance or supply zone, whatever you want to use. So once price came up here, then I had my stop down here just in case I wanted to secure profits, but then I also didn't want price to come all the way down to this area and then potentially stop me out. So that's why I didn't move it up in this area. So now currently my stops are like right around here, somewhere in this area, just because we have that little demand zone. So I don't want price to come down here, but I mean, I have a lot more profit secured now in this position. and I'll hold that for as long as possible. I had some positions all the way down here, from like, I think it was like May, like mid-May. Yeah, like mid-May. March, I had a position I got stopped out in profit. I think I had like something like around here in this zone area. But yeah, so I'll show you guys some more trades I placed on NASDAQ earlier today. So I had, oh, let me go to 30. So I had this as a demand zone and this as a supply zone. And you don't have to be super right on these zones. Like, you can kind of guesstimate and then just go to a smaller time frame to try and refine these areas. So I went long here before the market opened. I think it was like 4-3, something like that in the morning. And then I was able to take profit before the open. Thankfully, I didn't have to get caught up in all this volatility, but I did get caught up in another trade with some volatility. You know what, let me hide this. I took a short here because as you see, we took the like we broke these lows here. So I was starting to get short buys because we came out of the supply zone. So I took this short here. I got stopped out, and then oh dang, hang on. Oh well, let me just make another one. So then I got short again, like right around here, with my stop there, and my take profit was like here. It was somewhere in this little choppy area. But yeah, so I got back in short there. Got to move to the downside. But the one trade that I did place that got caught up in volatility was this one. So this is the Dow Jones, the US 30. But that one would be here with YM. Same thing. The candlesticks are gonna look the same and everything. Sometimes their pricing is a little bit different. But yeah, pretty much the same exact thing. So in this one, I found this as like a demand zone, and I had this one right here as a supply zone. If I did trade the after hours, I would have caught this long here as well. But the trade that I ended up placing was it came out of this demand zone, and we started having this little bit of an uptrend on these smaller time frames. So I got caught up in this little chop here, but then I took profit like right around here when the market opened. Like, it started having, I had some huge swings in my P&L. So I was just like, you know, I'm up decently in this trade. I don't want it to come back and stop me out. Let me just go ahead and take profit. So I think I took profits like somewhere like up here in this little choppy area. Where I would have looked to get back in if I did trade the after hours was if I get rid of this, put this up, you know, this little supply, I mean not supply, but demand zone right here. I would have looked to get in here and maybe go into like a 2-minute or a 5-minute, you know, wait till we kind of start to make some lower highs and some higher highs, and see if I could have got something here. But it was just too late by the time, like once we hit 1600, I'm done for the day. So the trade that I really wanted to share with you guys is this one on oil. So this is US oil spot, but it would just be CL would be the normal futures contract in the US. So on this one, this was a trade I took yesterday, but I think the value add for me explaining to you guys the psychology behind this oil trade would be I was shooting for the moon on this one. So I had this as a little supply zone. I got in somewhere in here. My stop was there. Let me go on a smaller time frame so it's a little bit easier to see. So I got in here. It was like 6 something in the morning. It's not my exact entry or like time that I entered, but it was somewhere right here at these lows, and I got a little bit of slippage, so it was like that because I got in market. So it went against me for a little while. I was like, dang, this thing is gonna end up stopping me out. Thankfully, it ended up turning. I had this little swing here as kind of like some resistance or supply zone to kind of help me out. Trading ended up working out really quickly. I took profits like in this little chop area, so I had like somewhat of like a 2-to-1 on that trade. But I only took off 75% of the position. I was trying to hold out and just see if it could have been a runner. I really wanted to go towards these lows here. Well, not these lows, but this little weekly demand zone. I was just trying to see if I could get one of those bangers, man. So it didn't end up working out that way. I've been short bias oil, but I mean, because of the market, so we're kind of like still in like a Goldilocks or reflationary trade. So usually commodities go up as inflation is going up. So I had the short bias just because of seasonality. Because usually oil prices start to, they start to go down this time of year. If you see like August 2020, we started hitting this little downtrend, or sideways to downtrend, and then usually, now this is rare, but this was because of the market conditions. We're in inflationary markets, but oil started going up a lot sooner than normal. But normally oil starts to go up like around mid to late spring, and then the whole summer it's just you're getting higher and higher oil prices. But anyways, we were starting to form this downtrend. So I was looking at this little area right here as kind of like my supply area. So then that's why I was just trying to refine my entries just to lower my risk. But as you can see, it didn't work out. So when I woke up, I only had 25% of this position still running. I ended up getting out like right in here. I took a small loss, but it was only a small loss on like 25% of the overall position. So it wasn't anything heavy. And then I just ended up changing my bias and I ended up going long. And the reason I went long was because I viewed this, actually I found it on a 30-minute. I viewed this right here as a demand zone. And as price started to come out of it, I was like, we could potentially keep this momentum going. And if not, I end up taking a stop out of this or whatever. I've done really good this week on Forex. Forex had a decent amount of volatility after the Fed meeting last week. I think it was last Friday. I can't remember what it was called. It was somewhere in Wyoming. But they're not tapering. So since they're not tapering, a lot of these commodities are going to continue to make new highs. Well, not make new highs, but they continue to go into the uptrends. So that being said, I kind of just flipped my whole bias. And if you're on my Facebook, I was talking to my boy Sean. Shout out to Sean. He was helping me out a lot when I very first got into Forex in 2014. But yeah, so I was talking to him on Facebook, and I was just like, dude, I think this thing's gonna tank. And then I wake up this morning and it's not taking. So I, just had to flip my whole bias towards longs rather than the shorts. And I think the part that will kind of be of a benefit to people who are new trading is just knowing that you can't be 100% locked on your bias in the markets, because anything can happen. I mean, you can say that you can do all this fundamental analysis, all this technical analysis, and have this super crazy trading strategy, but if you're not fallible, like if you don't understand that you're gonna be wrong, and then you just want to make sure that you're wrong small, you're gonna end up blowing your account. If you're risking a much, and trust me, I know, because I've blown plenty of accounts before. It sucks, but it's just part of the game. And as long as you focus on your risk management and just saying, hey, look, I know that I'm gonna lose money here and there, you'll be fine. So yeah, do I have any other trades? I think that was all I was gonna show you guys. I mean, I had some other trades. I'll just show you one that I drew up just to say if I wanted to show a Forex one. I did the same thing over here. I had this right here as a supply area. And as you can see, we're in this downtrend on the dollar CAD. So I had that as a supply, and then I find these trades like when they're kind of coming back. So I try not to call a high, I try not to call a low, but I try and get that little meat in the middle and just ride those trends. And I did that based off the 5-minute chart here. So we came into this little supply zone after we made new lows. We broke this low and this low, and we came into this little supply area, and I caught this momentum to the downside. So yeah, I mean, I was like pretty much, I had a lot more trades in Forex this week. I mean, New Zealand went crazy. New Zealand's just been on a tear. And yeah, I mean, it's just been it's been a really easy week trading. The last few weeks have been a little bit trickier just because Forex didn't really have any volatility with interest rates all being pretty much the same. Like, hang on, I'm gonna come here and show you guys the rates. Yeah, like you can see, almost everything is the same. So I mean, like, you really don't have much of an edge with Forex unless, you know, just normal, you know, company to company, country to country, just making transactions. But I mean, you don't really have any like carry trades where you can, you know, get positive carry on anything really. I mean, unless you're shorting the Swiss. But there's just so many fundamental things going on right now. I'll do like a video later on about like interest rates and how to figure out which currencies are going to be the movers based off the fundamentals. But I want to keep this video somewhat short and I'll cut it there. I want to do a Bitcoin video, Bitcoin and NFTs. So I've gotten really interested in those lately. So I want to do a live stream with that. And yeah, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. And if you like what I provided so far, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I would greatly appreciate it. Peace, guys.